We got a lot to talk about. Niners just finished up with presumably what is their last public practice or available to the media practice. They finished with 90 minutes, but really that's kind of burying the lead. The Niners are making moves, presumably, and there's been a lot of news put out there right now, starting off with Ji'Ayir Brown. There's been reports that Ji'Ayir Brown has been being shopped by the Niners, and they're looking to make a move with him. We already know that Ji'Ayir Brown was presumably our first round pick, coming in the third round 2 years ago. Came in late into his rookie season, and finished off into what I feel like was the peak of his career, which is the best game of his career, was the Super Bowl game. Then he regressed for the season. Grant, is it fair? Is it warranted? Is it real? Talk to me about Ji'Ayir Brown.
I mean, it seems kind of like what the Chiefs just did with Sky Moore. The Chiefs drafted Sky Moore in 2022, same year Niners took Ji'Ayir Brown. He was a second-round pick. They had high hopes. They gave him chances. They thought maybe it could work out, and then year 3, they're like, it's not happening, and we're going to cut you. But if we could get anything for you, we would prefer that. And so they did like some type of pick swap in 2027 just to say they didn't cut him for nothing. And I think that's sort of where the Niners are at. If other teams are patient, they'll probably be able to sign Ji'Ayir Brown soon, although the Niners have so many injuries, they might have to wait a little bit longer. But eventually when Malik Mustafa comes back and Richie Grant is healthy, between those two and Siegel and Pinnock, it's over for Ji'Ayir Brown. So, yeah, you could probably get him for a conditional 11th round pick in 2097, probably.
All right, a conditional 11th. I'll note that down. One thing that I gotta ask though is this a path for him to stay on the team, or is it literally he's here because we're just so thin at the position that we gotta replace him? Is it going to be a 1-for-1? Are they expecting guys to come back that are already here with the Niners, or are they willing to get rid of him for a bag of potato chips and a ham sandwich? Like, is it really that bad?
I mean, I guess the path for him staying on the team is other guys getting hurt, which could happen. Richie Grant has been out for at least a week. Jason Pinnock's been in and out. So, yeah, but he just hasn't done well with the opportunities that he's gotten because other people have been down. Every time I look up, he's given up a catch. And it's not just George Kittle. In one-on-ones, he's getting beat by Jake Tonjes, who's not bad, but he's not a starter. Ji'Ayir Brown can't cover anyone. And then if you put him in center field, he doesn't have much range. I don't know. Maybe he's just the wrong system for him. It seemed like he was a bit of a playmaker when Steve Wilkes was a defensive coordinator, but he's not the defensive coordinator anymore. I think he's going to end up in New York with Wilkes and the Jets. I feel like that's where he needs to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, it is what it is, man. I think that right now, if he's had every opportunity to take over the position, he had a lot of time last season to be able to take over the position, and he came in, didn't really do well. I just think that it is time for him to roll on. What do you think that we could fetch for him? Do you think that it's really just picks, or is there actually a player that can actually help us that we can get for Ji'Ayir Brown, or is this really the Niners just kind of making room for him?
They could have traded him for Sky Moore. I think it'd be that kind of a thing. Like remember 10 years ago, the Niners traded AJ Jenkins to the Chiefs for Jonathan Baldwin. It was like, oh, there's another first round pick who hasn't done anything. Maybe the two of you guys just need a change of scenery. And both of them ended up being busts anyway. But maybe you could trade him for another guy who just was a high draft pick, hasn't fulfilled expectations and needs a change of scenery. Or maybe you just rather have a pick in the future. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this team needs bodies. So I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing. Like right now, I think that is the operative direction that I'm going in, is that I don't think we can wait on picks. And, picks are just, in my opinion right now, picks are chances, opportunities. Right now, are we getting towards the part of the season where we have to start looking at saving the season before it even starts? Right now, let's just look at the bottom third of the team that's going to make the 53. Are those quality NFL players, or are the Niners going to be looking to horse trade?
It's not. It's one of the worst rosters they've had in a long time. They used to brag like, we're going to be cutting a lot of players who are NFL players and are going to get claimed by other. No, they're going to be claiming other teams' rejects because that's just the state of things right now if they've paid all these people. But I mean, it's safety. Unfortunately for Brown, the future is Siegel and Mustafa. And I think that's a good safety tandem potentially in the future. It's very explosive, very fast, very violent. Maybe neither one is. I don't know if either one's like a playmaker or a ball hawk, but they're going to cover a lot of ground and make people think twice about going over the middle.
Well, speaking of fast, young, and strong, pause.
Pause.
There is a serious issue going on in the backfield with the Niners, and a player at large coming out of the Washington Commanders is Brian Robinson Jr. He was their starter for quite some years, tough runner, big, right out of Alabama. I know a lot about the kid, resilient, but he's kind of fallen out of favor with, and I don't want to say necessarily process or talent, but it's just not what they do anymore. They've got a better quarterback. They can spread the ball out a little bit more. They need a little bit more of a dynamic runner back there. They found it in other backs. He's on the block right now, and it's said that the Niners have been vying for position to try to get that trade. What do you think? I mean, how serious is do the Niners need to, is this kind of like player number one that they need in the building, or is this just somebody they need to move on from? Can Brian Robinson Jr. really help us?
I mean, it seems like yeah, Brian Robinson Jr. could really. I mean, you're out there. You've seen him play. He's a good
Yeah.
player. He went to Alabama. He's been a starter. He's good. He's tough. He scores touchdowns. He'd replace Jordan Mason. He's a
Yes.
lot like Jordan Mason. And they thought Patrick Taylor Jr. might replace Jordan Mason. He's out for the year. Isaac Guerrero has nothing in common with those two guys. He's a finesse back, and he's hurt a lot. Plus, he fumbled 3 times today. So, I mean, the Niners they're so proactive at wide receiver because Kyle was a wide receiver. Anytime there's an injury, they bring in 3 more guys, and they're constantly churning the position. But running back has had just as many injuries. It's more important in this offense than wide receiver. And the Niners have they signed Jeff Wilson Jr. I mean, no disrespect, but you already got rid of him once. You already decided he wasn't good enough for you 3 years ago. Brian Robinson Jr. is significantly better than Jeff Wilson Jr. You need a running back. Yeah, do it. But they say that the Dolphins are the front runner to get him. It's not done yet.
Well,
though.
right now, Patrick Taylor Jr. just got put on season-ending IR. And I think that we need him in the worst way. We really don't have a tough runner. I mean, and right now, if you're trying to keep Christian McCaffrey as healthy as possible, you really want to take some of those dirty reps off of his hand. You know what I'm saying? Those 3rd and 1s, those 4th and shorts, those red zone carries. We're trying to build to keep the consistency throughout the whole year. I think I asked you the question, not to kind of put my own opinion in before yours, but if you weren't going to say it, I was. I think that this is pretty much the number one guy we need to be getting right now. I'm really worried about the backfield, even healthy. Jordan James, we don't know what we're going to get out of him. He didn't have a camp. We're looking at Christian McCaffrey. We're literally one injury away from him going down, and I don't know what we're going to get out of Isaac Guerrero. Did he really fumble twice today?
He fumbled 3 times.
3
and
times?
The second 2 were back to back. Like he fumbled, next play, handoff again, fumble. And it's like, man, they're not even taking you to the ground. They're just running into you and smacking the ball. Like, what are you, an NFL running back? What is going on?
Yeah, that's confusing and concerning at the same time.
I haven't seen anything. I've never seen anything like it. Very strange.
Well, I think that the history of Isaac Guerrero is kind of rising to the surface. I had a lot of hope in him, especially when we got him, and just the traits. I really like the traits. But now that he's showing that he can't stay consistent, you got to start looking at the history. Isaac Guerrero only started 1 college game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, he's more of a gadget guy, in my opinion. I really thought that they were going to find. All right, so he was obviously a gadget guy in college. That's not hard to see. But what I thought is that they were going to find a role for him in this offense. And it just seems as though that he's not being able to stay on the field and be consistent enough to fulfill that role if they do have one for him. I don't know anything about Jordan James moving in, not necessarily confident about that. And Corey Kiner is on ice until that high ankle sprain gets better. We need Brian Robinson Jr. in the worst way.
I mean, it's looking to me that letting Mason go. No, excuse me. Trading Mason to the Vikings was the most unnecessary move, the worst move the Niners made of the offseason. It didn't make sense. It didn't make them better. They spent the pick on I guess if they
What?
spent the pick on Marquise Siegel, I can't. But I mean, what
Well,
they
the
they
Marquis
essentially
Siegel
replace him
pick
with
is nice.
yeah, but they essentially replace him with Jordan James, who's done nothing so far. Yeah, I think if you bring in Brian Robinson, now you feel like, all right, at least you've replaced that spot in the rotation. And if
Right.
Christian McCaffrey were to go down for a week or a month or the season, you're not screwed. Because right now
Mhm.
you'd be absolutely screwed without him. Can't win without him.